Touch the top, so I ain't gonna put nothing at the top. I'm gonna start at the bottom, you know, to give us the visual of going up. Yeah. So top we say one open, one guard, open, one guard open. All right. Our first start, just like I tell y'all sometimes, when you make your first line, I say go ahead and cut the top. Once you make that first line, go ahead and cut the top all over to the length that they want, you know? So y'all will know what you're working with in between that. So, because if you're trying to fade up, just fade up before you even take everything off, it's gonna be confusing when you get to the top, because then the fade might not even look right, because you got, the top might be you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's why I tell y'all, you put your first line in, then you take off everything on the top, but he didn't want nothing taken off top.
You make your point A and your point B.
Right, you make your point A, thank you, Rick, thank you, Rick. You make your point A and your point B. So now you know what's in between point A and point B to get to point B. Or should it be A? A.
Depends on how you're fading.
So the one open is the first line.
She got the one bar open the first line. All right.
So you would take that out with the.
Then hold on. First, I would just to be easier for you guys, I would go up like a 3 open or 4 open, depending on how much hair. With his type of hair, I probably would have did a 4. I probably would have did a 4 just to go all the way up, right? And that will break down some of that hair that's on the sides. It will break down some of the hair. So now you got your point A or B. You got your point A or B. So now you did the 4 all the way up here to the side.
Close or open?
I will open it. If it don't take out, it might not take off none, but I will close it if it doesn't. But I would just make sure that if it cuts some off, it might not take the 4. You might have to go to a 3. 3 on the side. So let's just do that.
That's just you just doing the top of the side. Right?
The top of the side.
You're pulling straight
You
up.
go straight all the way up. Yes. So you cut some of the hair down. Cut some of the hair and just get your
Because he
bulk.
wants to leave the top natural.
Yes, he wants to just leave the top. So now we're gonna go from the 1 guard to the 3 guard. So now this is what we're gonna be working with. Got a 1 guard, I did the side with the 3 guard, and it'll probably be open. So now I got the 1.5 and the 2 guard open or closed to make the fade, to create the fade. So if that was the case, the 1 guard, like I said, the 1 guard open, then I would take the 3 guard open. Then go to the top of the head, well, to the parietal ridge there. All right, to the parietal ridge. I'm just say PR. I don't want to get over it. Come on. Good stuff. So I'm just put PR. And the parietal ridge there. So now we know that we're going in between the 1.5 and the 2 is what we're gonna need to start the fade. So 1 guard open, then I'm taking the 3 guard open all the way to the parietal ridge. So now I will go back to start creating my lines. I will take the 1.5 guard closed. Not gonna go with one guard open.
Wasn't a 1 guard open?
No, yeah, okay. So I'll take the 1.5 guard open. I'll take the 1.5 guard open, and then to create the second line.
You're missing that one.
No, I'm not missing the one because
That's what you started with.
we started with the 1.
Okay, half
We
guard
started with
open,
the
okay.
1 guard.
So the 1 guard open is
One
really
and a half.
like the 2. That's what I'm getting, so that's why you went in with the 1.5. What is it?
No, that's not why I went. That's not why I went in with the 1.5. The reason why I went in with a 1.5, because like I was explaining up here, like.
No, I know why you went in with the 1.5 open. I'm just saying, no, I know why you went with the 1.5. I just don't know why it's open.
Because she started with it open.
Right.
If she started with the 1 guard closed, you'd be doing the 1.5 closed.
Right.
So
Right.
if you start, so basically if you start with something open, every guard that you use will start open. It depends on the hair.
It depends on the hair, and it also depends on, like, I go one guard, if I'm doing one guard closed, I'm gonna go to a 1.5 closed and go back with a one guard open to take that line out. Because like I was saying up here, it's not a far space to connect. You know, it's a connector because this is closed, and then go to the guard, this is closed, then we go back to this because it goes like this. Boom, 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 boom. That's
So
how it
if you
goes,
put it- okay,
right?
So if you put in the lines open, you go back with it closed to take the line out.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's what I'm basically, cause you said that you going with the 1.5, you went with the one guard open and you went with the 1.5 guard open.
That's
But
to
you
create the
going
second
back,
line.
right, but.
To
you
take
said
out
you going
line.
back, you closing.
To take out, but I'm gonna take, it's gonna be with the one guard, what is it, one? Oh, it's gonna be with the one guard closed. So the one guard closed. Take line out. Oh,
How, isn't the one guard closed shorter than the one guard open?
Yeah,
How's that gonna take the line?
no. Let me see.
that's what I'm wanting.
One guard, what is it, one guard open, right, and then one guard closed. Yeah,
That's shorter though than what you started with.
right, that's what you take in the line, you take the
Remember
line
we're
out.
fading now.
Yeah.
But when you fade, aren't you going like this, up the head?
Remember, we're fading now.
So if I'm
You're fading
open,
up.
if I'm open down here, I'm gonna go back in with closed?
If you have a one guard open, all the way up, I would go take the three guard open to the
Yeah,
right
I
ridge.
get that.
Alright, now we're gonna go to the 1.5 open. So let's create the second line.
Yeah, but between a 1.5 open and a 1 open.
The one guard should be underneath the 1.5.
Between the 1.5 open and the one guard open, right? Alright, what's between there?
The one.
The 1.5.
No.
Yeah, if you close up the
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm wrong. I'm looking at it wrong. I'm looking at it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it wrong.
I think what's throwing us off is that
Should
the
we-
first step should have been closed.
Yeah.
We're starting with it open.
I know, tied.
It probably should have been closed.
The one guard open.
Even if it is open, you still can have guard up, but.
Should we have a mannequin while we're doing it? Like,
Well, yeah, I wanted it, we can get a mannequin, you can get a mannequin now. But still
You're really
though,
not gonna be able to
you
see
still
it
won't
on
be able
the
to see it, yeah, you won't be able to see it.
Because you can't fade on the man.
You still won't be able to see it.
an actual.
can't we get the idea?
Well, you can get a mannequin, I can use a mannequin too, yeah, you can grab one.
to get the
Grab
idea
one.
on it.
But, okay, one guard open, and I will go to, 1.5, oh, no, my bad. That's it, alright, because that's what's in between, no? Yeah, that's what's in between, because we're coming from here, here,
Yeah.
here, alright? So, that was my bad, it's 1.5. So it'll be like the one guard open, then it'll be the 1.5 guard open to create the second line, then close the 1.5 guard to take that line out. Given?
Yeah.
Even now. Because it's like I say close, open, close, open, close, open. That's how it goes because it's the one. So the one closed, it's one open. You know, 1.5 closed, and the 1.5 open. That's how the order that it goes from shortest to longest. So one guard closed, you take that line out. Then to get up to the next line, I would do, okay, we got one guard closed. So I'll probably use like a 2 open. I use a 2 open and then again turn around and do the 2 closed. And so that way you're not getting, you don't have a lot of space in between what you're fading.
Maybe that thing right
Still
there.
not getting it? No? Okay.
Can we start over?
Yeah, we can start over. We can start over. One guard open.
So the third, the 3 guard should be all the way at the top, because that's the finish.
The 3 guard gonna be right here at the right of ridge. That's giving you something to work with, to be point A to point B. 3 guard is point A to point B, okay? This will be point A, then the 3 guard at the right of ridge will be point B. So now you're trying to gradually fade that line to B. I mean, to B, because y'all going up. So then I'm gonna take, since I started with the 1 guard, I'm gonna take my 1.5 guard open to create the second line. And then, once I create the second line with 1 guard, I'm gonna take that line out with it closed. And it's not, you really should see the fade, and you're not gonna have another line. Sometimes when y'all go back and take the second line out, you make another line.
So,
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when y'all go back and take the second line out, you create another line. And the reason why you create another line is because you go up too far. You go up too far to take the line up. To take the line out, I mean.
so whatever you put the line in with, if it's open, you take it out with the same thing closed.
Right. If you're gonna make the second line, when you make the second line, and you do that all the way up. So let me do it all the way up. So 1.5 guard closed. So that's took that line out with. So now we're still going gradually up. So I'll do the 2 open. Because by this time, the 2 open, by the time you get to the 2 open, that's gonna make the, your next line. So next line.
So you would
And
take
then
it
I'm gonna go
out
back with the 2 closed.
too close.
Alright, so now I'm about to do this just right here. Cause you might be able to see it, but I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's mine, but.
Do you
but-
want me to cut it? Because-
Well, another idea is, I hate for you to have to erase what you've written, but if we draw a face up there, you can just put the
I'm not a
areas.
good drawer.
I can draw a face, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, only look at the
Well, I
idea.
can-
Or you can
No,
use,
I understand it, like, it's like, I don't need.
Well, now, I can do it like this then. Do you mind if I cut this? Okay, I'm gonna start big.
There's some bold ones.
Huh?
There's some of them that don't have hair.
Yeah, that's all. Girl.
do you want one that doesn't have hair?
I need some hair so y'all can see.
Yeah.
You get me what I'm saying? If you got one head that's like a little bit less hair than this, yeah, I can take that. But I want y'all to be able to see me go. And I'm not gonna cut them out. I'm not gonna use like a half guard. Let me get your guards. Let me get your guards, cause you got all yours, your big guards.
I got mine right there in that bag.
I'm talking about, I don't know if it was like Felipe's. Felipe guards. He got all his guards. He got.
I do, they're all right there in the
You
bag.
got all of them?
Yeah. They're in a little,
It's free.
open it out, there you go.
No, cause you don't even have 8. Remember, a 7. You don't have a 7.
I have an 8, I don't have a 7, and I don't have a 5.
Felipe got all of his. I need all of them.
Felipe.
I need all of them.
Huh?
I
You
need all-
got it
the
going on.
colorful ones that you sent me. Nah, I won't be able to do that. Let me see.
I gotta get that one. Don't even worry about it. I just thought with like a 4. I thought like a 4. The lead pair of do it here at home, though. Alright. Maybe this will work better. So, we're gonna leave the top. We're gonna leave the top. We ain't gonna cut the top. We're gonna leave the top, okay? So I'm gonna just start with something. These wall, right?
Yeah.
They will go with it, all right? So I'm gonna start with something big. Do 4, all right? Start with something big. I got the 4 open. gonna be the same premise as this right here, I'm just using bigger bars, alright? So this is a 4 open. So if I sold the 4 open, I'll probably, like I said, I'm gonna go to the variety read to give me less hair to work with. So I'm gonna probably start with, if I got a 4, I'll probably go up to like a 7. So it can blend to the top because it's long, alright? 4. I'm gonna skip too much. 7. 7 open.
So was the 4 open or closed?
The 4 was open.
Open.
I'm just gonna blend to the top. All the way up to the parietal ridge. That scoop out is the game key though. Scoop it out. Alright. So now, got my 7 all the way here, so the 4 down here. You really can't see the line, but you know, this is what the line was. Can you tell?
No.
You really can't tell?
No.
I don't know, it look, but the line, I can see it right here because I'm up here, but I took my 4 right here, I took a 7 all over here. I will go back with this 4. 4 was open, I'll go back with a 5 closed.
So that where you started was with a 4?
I'm in a 5 open, I'm sorry. Go with a
That's where you
5.
started?
4 open.
I started with 4 open. I'm going back with a 5 open to get out. You really can't tell the line. You can't see the line, but
Okay. That's okay.
but I'm gonna try it. I'm still gonna do it just to give you the premise. I'm going with a 5 open. Make that the second line. I got somebody coming in at 10:30, so y'all be able to see it.
You have a haircut coming in today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me see. Is somebody out there?
I just went out there with nobody there.
629.
I do. They supposed to be coming in. I'm not sure.
It's gonna be a cut along the same lines, like short section.
Where it's gonna be a fade.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a fade though. It's gonna be a fade.
Oh, Lord.
Let's see if we.
So we started with a 4 open, then you're doing a 5 of open.
Yeah, and then I will go back to take out the line with the
5 close.
5 close. Yeah, it's taking off too, but y'all can't see it because it's so. That hair, it don't work on a man. I gotta show y'all on a real person.
You're doing good, man.
But then I will take this. So, because I took the 7 earlier, so now I will make my second line. With the 6 open. Right below the 7. And then I'll take that line out with the 6 closed.
Okay, so you went from a 5 closed to what?
I went from a 5 closed to a 6 open.
6 open.
To a 6 to create the second, to bring that 6 up to the 7. Because by the time you get up to this, from the 6 to the 7, it should be blended by then. Like it should be blended because you're going into the 7 with the 6, so it's gonna be blended. And then 6 is open, and then you're gonna close the 6 to take that line out that you put in there to get to the 7. If that makes sense.
So
Got it?
keep going. So 6 open.
But now you're at the top now, so you're already at the 7, so it should be blended
With the 6 open.
with the 6 open. Then you're gonna go back and take that line out with the 6 closed because you're putting the second line in there. You're gonna put the second line in there when you have the 6 open. Then you go back and close the 6, take that line out, and then once you go in there with the 6 open though, it's already gonna be up here by the parietal ridge where the 7 was. So 7, 6 it goes down, so it should be blended by the time you get it. And if it's not, you go with clip over comb just to try to tighten it up or something like that. But it should be already blended in with the 7 once you go with the 6 open. See, me myself, I would just do 7, 6, 5, 4.
That's what you did yesterday with when you helped me with the last guy.
Yeah, I fade down.
So
I don't make lines, I just fade down. And sometimes, depending on the hair texture, depending on if you have to go back in there and clean up with like clipper over comb or something like that, go in there with another guard open or halfway open. Depending on the texture of the hair, you might have to go in there with a halfway, just a little bit to help clean up the line some. Instead of being all the way open or all the way closed, you might go in there like halfway, you know. But that's at your discretion as you, depending on the texture of the hair and what type of hair it is. So, yeah, the mannequin though, it ain't, I thought it would work.
If you go from, like we was talking about, 0 to 3.
0 to 3.
Start off, no guard closed.
No guard closed. 0 to 3. Let's get to the 0 to 3. We already, so you got the 3. The 3's on top.
Yeah.
All right. We're starting at a 0. And you say you do what now?
No guard closed.
No, that's the 0.
Yeah.
No, that's the 0.
And then
Make the
after
second line.
that, to put the second line in, you would go with the one guard, open.
No, I will go with the. If I'm doing, yeah, the one. I will go with the half guard. If I'm doing the close, the 0, and I'm going to create my second line, I'm gonna have a half guard to 0. I'm into close. I'm gonna put a half guard close to make that second line, because you're gonna have a little small weight line, and you take that out with the.
But I asked you earlier, could I go with the one guard? What did I say? I think I said the
No,
one
and
guard
you could.
closed and then go back with the half guard.
You could go with the one guard, but you still you could go with the one. You said you could go with the one guard open, right?
Yeah, and
Alright.
then go back with
But check
the
this out. If you're
half
coming from
guard.
closed, so if you're coming from closed, look how many things you got to go. You got to go through. If you got the one open, then you got to go through the close, the one half closed. You got half open and the in between, and then you go back. Then you got this the no guard open. So that's a lot to bring together. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, so it would
You
be
get what I'm trying to
no
say?
guard. So
That's a lot to bring
But you
together.
can do it, what Kira's saying,
You-
because the half guard used to not exist.
Right. You done. You can't, but you still would have making adjustments.
Oh, yeah.
You still would have to make adjustments.
Right.
Because the half guard didn't exist. Right.
So did you say half guard open or closed, Kara?
Yes.
Why can't you just start with, let's say you're going like no guard closed, open it a little bit, go up a little higher, open it up a little more, go a little higher, open it up all the way up and go higher, put on the half closed, go up a little higher. Like, why can't you just do it that way?
By all means, you can. But
It's just quicker.
no, that'd be the ideal way.
That's how I've been doing it.
But that'd be the ideal way. But it's just some people, they might. If you got to get it perfect. And it's gonna have to be perfect. If you're doing it that way, it's gonna have to be perfect. Or you're gonna take that line, you're gonna keep taking your fade all the way up.
Right.
All the way up.
Yeah, so if you do weight lines, it actually like,
It just
Keeps you
it keeps you
Visual.
visually to stay, right?
Right there, right. But you can do it that way. But it's gonna have to be perfect as you going. No, it gotta be accurate, to be on point. But like that's basically what I do coming down when I fade down. I fade like 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay.
That's
So
how I
you just
fade.
start with yours open and then gradually close it up as you get out?
Yeah. Man.
okay, so then it would be for the second
But you
one,
gotta-
if you did go with the half guard,
Okay.
if you went with the half guard,
To start off with, or
yeah, just to put in that second one.
okay,
After you go with the 0,
after the
close,
0 close.
you go with the half guard open,
Hmm. You can do that.
and then would you take it out with the half guard closed?
You can take it with
Or
that.
no guard halfway
You
open?
Nah, you could. I would it'd either be like the half guard closed or the one. The no guard open to
Okay.
take that line out.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you started now you went in with the 1.5, the half guard open, not 1.5, but the half guard open. You went in with the half guard open, so now you got the half guard closed in between, and you got the
No guard.
no guard open in between.
Okay, so that would be to take out the first line.
Yeah.
So then to go to the second line,
Okay.
you would go to the one guard.
You can
Or
go,
would
or
you
you
skip
can,
over the 1 guard and go to the 1.5?
you could go to the 1.5 closed. I would go to the 1.5 closed.
Okay,
All right, and then so now since you're doing that way, I would go to the 1.5 closed.
and then take it out with the 1 open?
Either it's gonna be either open or closed because now you're in between here. You get what I'm saying? Because this is what we started out. This is what we
Right.
made the second line with right here,
Mhm.
right? So it's gonna be connected to this. So it was gonna be. This is gonna be in between the 1.5 closed. You get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so you put in the next line with the 1.5, and you either take it out
You're the 1.5 closed now.
Right.
Okay.
1.5 closed, and
Mhm.
you either take it out in between the 1.5 open or the,
No, you take it out in between the 1 guard closed or
and the
open.
the 1 guard closed or open.
Cause that's in between the half guard, yes. That's what,
Okay.
the 1.5 closed, right?
Yeah,
And then you got, we put the second line in with the half guard open, right? So that means, cause it goes like this is how it goes. Close, like 1, 2, 3, that's how you look at it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes in that order right there. Okay? You get me?
so if you started off with a no guard closed, then your next step would be open.
If I started with a no guard close, my next step would probably be like this half guard close. So I could take this to take the line out with it.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you skip over, so basically what you're saying is, if you got it, you know.
Or like you
1
said,
through
you could
10.
go to the one. You could go to the 1 guard. Since like Rich said, the half guard wasn't here. You can go to the 1 guard. You can go to the 1 guard. I know it's a lot. But it's simple. You get it. But you can start with the 1 guard, and then this is what you're gonna have between. Right here, 1 guard closed. That's so you got 4, 3, 2. In between this 1 guard closed.
Okay,
You getting me?
a little.
No, you're not getting me?
I was wondering, can you let Kara go up there and just give an example and just write it out what she's saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of, to give us kind of practice how to do it.
If that's you, yeah. I don't mind. Let me get my ship shape. Open, close, open. I don't know which one to do this. It is a formula. It is. It really is a formula. It's right here. So alright, just let's start with 0. No guard 0. Alright? And the guy, he gonna get like a number 2 on top. 2 open on top.
Yes, ma'am, this way. Must come this way.
Okay?
So it would be everything in between the half and the.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first one,
Did you hear that, Krista?
No.
She said, tell her what she said. She doing, there's a no guard on the bottom, and there's gonna be a 2 on top. And she
so
said,
it would be everything from the half guard to the 1.5 would be what you paid for. So for my second one, if I'm going to, I would put, I guess I would go with the half guard.
mm-hmm,
I would start off with open,
mm-hmm,
and that would be from line, this would be considered the second line,
Well, yeah, that'll be considered the second line.
or second line. And then to put in, I guess,
So now what you got in between,
the half guard and the no guard,
yeah, what?
it would be, between, if it's open, it would be between the half guard closed
Mhm.
and the no guard open.
Yes, but yes.
So-
So like you could, that's what you, those two things is what you would use to take out that, to take that second line out. Yes.
I'm curious.
Yes.
When you start, are you
Did
are
you
you
get
starting
that,
at your second line or
Levi?
your first line? Where's
Okay.
your first line?
The,
How you
my
starting
first
now?
one, I would put in with the no guard closed,
Okay.
and then I would go up to the half guard for my second line. I would start off with it open, and then between the half guard and the no guard, I would either fade it out with the half guard closed or the no guard open to take out the
Mm-hmm,
second line.
mm-hmm.
If you look at the chart that's on the side, you're going from position 1 to position, what'd you say the half guard is open?
Yeah,
To position 4, so that means you're either using position 2 or position 3 to take it out.
right.
And that's exactly what Kira just said.
Yeah, is that what you just said? Yeah.
Fix it all.
So,
Did you get it? Did you get it, Crystal?
I get some of it, I don't get it.
Just write it down, and I think that'll be easier, like what Kira's doing.
Yeah, I'm getting what she's doing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, but then just go.
Or.
Yeah,
It's just
I think there's a better way to write that.
I know, I know it. This, it probably is a better way to write
You
it.
gotta
But,
go left to right, up to bottom, top to bottom, you know, like.
but that's why I had to know, I numbered it like that. That's why I numbered it like that.
Yeah.
I hope that it was-
Yeah, you're doing
So,
right.
yeah,
Well,
that right
right
there,
there.
but that right there, like, that helps a lot, putting that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's what I thought.
Without putting
I
the
just thought of
numbers,
it.
it was just ridiculous. I was like,
That what?
Without the numbers, it looks ridiculous. I was
Just
like,
open and close, open and close.
Yeah.
So with, this will work either fading up or down, because it's all, right?
Yeah, it
It's gonna work
does,
either way.
yeah.
Right.
after I do the half guard, I will go up to
You gonna make your next line.
the one guard.
Because we the two on, oh, it's a 2 on top, right? So you go up to what?
I could go up to the one guard or the 1.5. I could do either or.
You could do either or. You could do either or.
Um,
You can do either or.
What do you recommend is the right amount of lines, weight lines? Should not exceed 3?
That's what I wouldn't like for it to exceed 3.
Okay.
You know, it shouldn't exceed 3.
Unless you got a great big